ET intro, take 3.
Hey dreamers, and welcome to Dream Talk. I'm your host, Gabriel Dreams. Welcome to my podcast. I'm so excited to finally get this off the works of my sheets of paper because I've been planning this for a minute, let me tell you that. We're going to be talking about anything and everything I want to talk about, from spirituality to my concepts on life to food to what's going on in my mind. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, any specific topics, I'll be more than happy to do them. Before we get into this podcast though, I want to give a huge thank you to my good friend Paul. He is a sound engineer and I'm so thankful that he's in my life. I appreciate you. So thank you so much. Give him a round of applause. I'll put his Instagram right here, so if you guys want to give him a follow.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I got my incense here. I got a little candle. The energy is set. Grab a drink, grab a snack, sit back and relax. The reason why this is because today's going to be something to this world, you know. Maybe there's something more than we think to this plane of existence. And without further ado, let's just jump right into this because this is a crazy story and I'm so excited. So I would like to introduce to y'all my dream journal. This is what she looked like. She's been through many phases. As you can tell, I had like this album cover art that I cut up and I put it up. And then this is more like a fabric. I was debating on whether or not to put it in the front. Anyways, we're getting off topic, but yes, the story that I'm going to be telling today is from this lovely journal that I have. There's a little picture at the end, so if you guys want to see that, I'll show you guys too. And I will introduce this journal to y'all again in different ways, just because I want to share a little bit of my life with y'all. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, I have worked in food service many times. Now I still have a day job, you know, I'm just a receptionist. However, I did do food service and I love food service. I'm not gonna lie. I like making people happy. I like making them feel welcomed, you know, especially with food. I'm like, what you want? How can I help you today? So yeah, I worked at Panera Bread. You know, so working at Panera or any type of bakery type of restaurant, you know, you will have dailies. People will come in, get what they need to start their day, start their life. And there was this one particular woman who would come in all the time. And for the sake of this story, I'm going to give her an alias name. A, so I don't get sued, and B, to hide her identity. So we'll just name her, Stephanie. Hey girl, Stephanie, if you're listening to this, this is for you. And I hope that, you know, I can find you. Because I will say, before actually doing this podcast, I wanted to reach out to her. And I've been trying to for at least a couple years. And I just had never gotten in touch with her ever since. And so I hope, you know, this finds her. And I hope, you know, you guys enjoy it as well. All right, so let's just jump right into the story. Okay, so yesterday, one of my daily customers talked to me. Her name is Stephanie. And she told me about her girlfriends and her brother. And on this particular day, I noticed she was writing in her journal, or she was drawing, something of that nature. And I was curious, you know, because of course I have my journal. And I was like, you know, girl, what you doing? Like, I partake in such activities as well. So I asked her, I was like, what are you drawing? What are you writing about? You know, just because I'm curious and I have seen her before. So then she told me this crazy story and then it made my day. I literally spent my lunch and my evening with her, just talking about her and herself and getting to know this person. And that's why I wanted to talk about this because, you know, I feel like, you know, in life you should pay attention to, you know, certain conversations spiritually and hear out people, even in instances that are quick and you think that might not, you know, have much significance. And she had told me that on this particular day that she was writing to a loved one. So I said, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry for your loss. She was saying that this specific day was the anniversary of her brother's passing. And I was like, oh, rest his soul. You know, I was trying to be there for her. And I'm really glad that I asked because, you know, in moments like that, you know, we could feel very alone. So I think this particular interaction was meant for the both of us. Before I get into the rest of the story, let me just tell you this lady was so cute. She was old. She had like her little gray hairs. She always wore those tacky like Native American like shirts, but you know, she was Native American, but it was just so funny to me. And that's what I remember most about her, other than her great personality and this specific interaction that I had with her. So on my break, I was like, if you're going to still be here, I would love to talk more, you know. So I take my break, I spend my lunch with her, and this is what comes from that story. I was not only interested to talking to another friendly soul, but because I could tell that she has no one to talk to about it with. Even with her friend Potato, we're going to change that. because I also want to hide her identity as well. Even with her friend Potato, who always meets with her in the morning, she said she would get visions as a child. And that's when this whole was, I was like, okay, I need to sit down for this. Anyways, she said that she would get these visions as a child. And I was like, damn, like, girl, me too. I believe in the, whole, like, psychic, almost like deja vu. I have them in my dreams, particularly all the time. And that's what this one was about. She was like, okay, so I've had these visions when I was young, and I still get them. But why this correlates to the story is basically she dreams her brother's death. And I was like, ooh, like, damn, like, I'm so sorry. So I, gave her a hug, gave her love that she, needed. I think it was important for the both of us. Yeah, so she told me that she would get visions as a child. And, still into her adult life, she would still get these visions. Sorry, my handwriting, I don't know if you can tell, girl, I wrote in cursive, so it's, like, all fucked. Let's see. She said she was planning on a trip with her brother and her friends. Just to have fun. She said that months before going on this trip, she had a dream they were going to crash. And then I was like, oh shit. Shit just got real. She said that one day she stopped and that she thought it was a sign that it would be, okay to go to the trip. She had stressed about it and she was thinking, maybe it's just a dream. Maybe it's just me freaking out. Maybe there was some stress in her life that was making her have this dream. Basically what happened in the dream was on their way back from the trip, she tried to stop the crash before it could happen. He didn't push the brakes fast enough for whatever reason. There was traffic or there was a car coming, and that's how she would end the dream each time. And unfortunately, in her dream, she couldn't stop what happened, so they crashed. She said everything was the exact same. She thought that they would die, but they prayed and the car just stopped. Oh my God, I don't even remember that. Wow. That is just one vision she had. She said she had another situation, and it was the night of her brother who passed. She said that she had left and shortly come back, and for some reason, the jacket was pertinent. The jacket is important. I remember. Okay. So she grabbed the jacket, and because she was cold, and I think she had communicated to him, like, hey, maybe we should not go on this trip. I had this weird feeling. I had this weird dream, and I just don't feel comfortable. So as she grabbed his jacket, there was, like, a weird feeling, and I had asked, like, do you think he knew, like, your jacket or something? So she grabs his jacket, and that was important to her because the day would come, which was the next day, where they would no longer be able to see each other. So I think it was really important and really nice to have that momentum. Is that what it's called, a momentum?
Finish the thought. Momentum to what?
Like to have a momentum of a time.
The moment? Or...
There's a word for it. I don't know the word. It's okay. But anyways, it was like a token, a reminder of her brother. Memento. I was like, Mento? But yeah, so she had it was really important to her because it was a memento of the moment beforehand. Oh, I see. So basically, because I write in cursive. I don't know if you could see that. Sometimes I can't even read because I be writing sloppy, all right? Don't judge me. Note to self, write neater so I can know what I'm talking about. Yeah, basically, that's what had happened. She had dreamed of her brother's death, and there was no way of her stopping it. And it just leads me to think, and for the world to think, maybe there's so much more than what we think spirituality or what we think life and afterlife is like, And I really cherish moments like this because, it was just I could have just passed her by, not said anything, didn't say anything, and I'm glad I did. Yeah, so that was just a very small interaction that I had with this beautiful woman. I'm very grateful for it, and I'm really sorry for your loss. I hope that you see this, particularly because, and I'll show y'all too, at the time, I had drawn this woman, and it was a dedication to her. I really like to have a little drawing after each entry in my journal. Yeah, at first, I had drawn her, which was the bigger woman. Like I said, she's Native American, so I added like the little earrings with the feathers, making it as spiritual and cute as fuck. And at that particular time too, I was talking to this man. He was my ex, and he drew the face just because he was like, oh, like let me try drawing a little face from the side profile. And looking back at it, when I was doing it then, I was like, damn, like you just drew in my journal. I don't let anyone do that. But I'm happy for it because it came to fruition that, you know, it made me realize that it was her. It was like her lover that she was with. And so basically I think that it was like in representation of like her relationship that she had with her lover. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but basically she said it was a really fulfilling and like loving relationship. And so I'm happy that it came out to the way it came out. If you're watching, I would love to give this to you. Maybe not the original because it's in my journal and it has a lot of other personal stuff, but I would like to recreate it for you so that you could have it on your wall or in your house. Maybe in a book, something. I don't know. It was a really beautiful moment and I'm really happy that it happened. So that's another reason why I wanted to do this podcast, is so that if you're watching, you know, we could reach out. Because I had tried, let me tell you, I tried reaching out so many times. I had called them. I was like, hey, there's a specific woman. She likes to wear this. This is what she looked like. She is a daily. Her name is this, that, and the third. And for some reason, I just was not able to connect with her in that way again. Yeah, so that was basically our first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I know this was a really short one, but this was my first one. We'll see how this goes. Obviously, they'll probably be longer the more that I get into them and the more that I invest into my podcast. Yeah. I'm very thankful for interactions and I'm thankful for connections like this because, you know, it helps me stay aware and maybe you guys can draw something from this story. But more importantly, what I want to get out of this, if I can, is if you're watching this, Miss Stephanie, you know who you are. I hope you remember me. Hey girls, Gabriel from Panera. I hope you're doing well. I hope all is well for you. I love and miss you. It just goes to show, you know, as humans, we don't know everything in this world. We like to believe in this or that, and sometimes it's hard to believe in that there's much more than life than what we have visually in front of us. And I mean that from like, I was an atheist, so I was like, I don't believe in God. But as I've come into more of myself and my own spirituality, I've come to, you know, I have my own spirituality. I do believe in like the universe and energy, and it's stuff like this that makes me like, wow, like life is trippy. You know, you could never be too sure about anything. Yeah, it's just stuff like this really makes me think about myself, my inner world, the spiritual world, if you believe in that. And I think this is going to be fun. This is the first episode. I think it went really well. I hope you guys liked it as much as I did creating it. Like I said, if there's any specific topics that you guys want me to talk about, I'm more than happy to. I'm really excited to see what this brings. Let's go in the comments, okay? I need y'all to have a conversation about me about this because I'm like over here thinking like, you know, it could have been a dream. It could have just been that. Maybe it was a coincidence, you know. But I'm a heavy believer that, you know, things happen for a reason and there's something more. That's all I gotta say. There's something more. Do you guys believe in stuff like this or do you not? I want to hear your thoughts. Let's open up the conversation. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not a dreamer already. What are you doing? What's there to lose, you know? All right. I love you guys all so much. As always, love, light, and unity. And I will see you guys next week on Dream Talk. First episode!